let's go live. Hello!
Hello. Sorry, I was drinking.
Hello, people, and welcome to the Stellarlune live show. I have no idea if anyone is going to show up because this has been so long overdue. I'm very apologies there. The two of us have been extremely busy.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely hectic life at the moment.
yeah,
So
we both had it at the exact same time as well, with new stuff happening. And yeah, so we kind of fell off the rails there for a moment. But let us know if you are here. Let us know, have you read Stellarlune? Oh, there are people here. Oh, well, that's good. And Lily is also here. Of course, Lily is here. We are here to discuss the Lily. I'm doing a live show. Lily.
thank you, Lily.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you moving.
Yes. You can sit with mommy. You can sit with mommy. That's all right. You may. So we are here to discuss the latest book, which is Stellarlune in the Keeper of the Lost City series. Keeperalong is officially coming to an end with this. It's been such a journey, whoa, really, really immense journey. But yeah,
Yeah.
we are here to discuss Stellarlune. I'm just gonna shout this out immediately for the people who don't know. Lily, can please? I'm moving you. I'm very sorry. There you go. For the people who don't know, I have a concussion. I fell down the stairs a week and a half ago. I've been very stubborn about this, so I'm still very much in a world of pain. I'm finally now taking the rest that I'm supposed to be taking a week ago, but I'm finally doing it. So I'm not quite sure if I can do a full hour because a laptop is still a little bit difficult for me. But we'll see how far we get. I'm okay. I've been to the doctors and everything. I was just in the beginning. I was like, oh, I can go to work. It's fine, and no.
I'm happy you figured that out.
Yeah, I figured it out, and I am now at home for a week because they threatened to block my pass,
So she wouldn't be able to get to work. That's
so I
what.
wouldn't be able to access the building. So, um, we are here to discuss Stellarlune, and I am very excited to discuss it with you all.
Do
Uh,
you remember everything? Because I remember you read it
I
early
have
December.
notes.
Oh
I have
yeah.
notes.
Okay. I have notes as well. Okay, good.
I have notes. I'm
Good.
here, excited. Hello, so excited. Hello, read this so too long ago. I'm very sorry, guys. This is just read it December 5th. I read it in the beginning of November. Oh my gosh, that's been a long time.
Hmm.
5 stars. Yeah, my lighting is also not the best, but this is the amount of lighting that I can handle at the moment.
No worries. We know. We know. No worries.
So I am just yeah, it's a little bit messy, but we're gonna roll with it. So first off, let's start with our ratings. What did we rate the book? I rated the book 5 stars. Is anyone surprised?
Not even slightly.
It's even been on my top 10 of 2022, my top 10 books, which I
Mhm.
was supposed to be filming, but then I never did that. But it was on there, so it was
That's
like
okay.
middle of that, I think. But yeah, Sasha, what is your rating?
I gave it 4 stars. Actually, I felt like we were going from one revelation to another, one secret to another question. One, there are things that kind of like confuse me because so much was going on. Like, when we got to see spoiler free still, but like memories from memories, cash from cash. I was just like, wait, was that in the first one? In the last one? Wait, what happened? I was just like a little bit confused at that point. So maybe we're gonna clear that up now. But I really enjoyed it. I think it is my first 4 stars. I think all the others were like high 3 stars, but this one is 4 stars. And I got to see some of the characters I really loved, and I did enjoy the direction it was taking. And
Yeah,
with obviously a cliffhanger at the end, as every single time.
yeah. It's just yeah, yeah, yes. Oh, and now we have to wait like a very long time as well. I'm just
Is it a
gonna.
very long time, or is it by the end of this year?
I don't know. It's not been announced yet, so I don't know. I have no
Mhm.
idea. I'm just gonna click spoilers
Yes.
because we're gonna get dive into spoilers. 5 stars, gave a 4.
Yeah.
Yes. Um yeah, I gave it 5 stars because there were like some things um in it that I was really happy with.
Like,
Like well, the main thing was the um oh my god, my brain is just I'm sorry, like
no worries. Take it slow. It's okay. If you don't make sense, I will make sense of it.
yes, like I cannot talk like normally. The main thing was that was the word I was looking for. The development of Keith and Sophie's relationship because I did not see that coming that it happened like so quickly.
Oh, you were expecting it to happen in the last one? Or
Um well, it took like a very long time for Keith to come back into the story.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
it took a really long time because he left at the
Yeah,
end of like the novella thing.
yeah,
Um, and it took a very, very long time for him to come back to the story. So I thought that there was like very little of the story left when he came back. So I didn't expect it to happen then. I maybe expected it to happen like in the next book.
yeah.
But I was very pleased with that because I feel like Sophie and Keith are like made for each other. Like
Hmm.
I feel like there are just yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um
I like that development as well. But I also feel like I was like you. I wasn't expecting anything to happen before the last one, just because I wanted them to get like just a tiny bit older and wiser and more mature for some reason. But at the same time, as you said, it took him such a long time to come back to it that from the very beginning of this book or the very end of the previous book, novella thingy, Sophie had time to just think on it and think on it and think on it and to make
yeah.
up her mind in some way. So she just needed to have that physical confirmation, I would say. So for me,
Yeah.
it did not bother me. It kind of made sense, actually.
Oh, it didn't bother me at all. Like it made sense and it I just think they're really good for each other, like way better than Sophie and Fitz, you know. Fitz is just
You hate him.
yeah, I still hate Fitz. So yeah, you know. And I don't know, do I like I'm what about like and I don't know. At I'm making no sense again. At one point, I think like Dex and Brianna would be like really cute as well.
Hmm.
But I also I'm not hoping that everyone ends up with everyone, you know?
That's what I like. Yeah. Yeah. Not
Because
everyone needs to be with someone, especially within the same group by the end of the book, because it's not what happens in real life.
no,
It does
that's not
happen sometimes, but not all of the time.
Sarah J. Maas does it all the time, you know, and it's just so annoying. That's not
Mm.
how real life works. So I hope that not everyone ends up with everyone because that would just not make sense. However, find Wiley and Lynn very cute together.
Yes, I
I
agree.
like
I
them
agree.
together. I would like them to be together.
Mm.
Let's go through my notes.
But we know that you hate Fitz, but how do you feel about the fact that Fitz and Sophie have to get closer and closer and closer because they're like the what's the name of it?
Yeah, they're cockneys.
Yes,
Cockneys. Yeah.
because it's going to the next,
Yeah, the
when
next
he
stage.
opened up about like Keith and everything, and that he went like over 1,000 or I don't know what. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How do you feel about them being close for that if you hate him so much?
I just yeah, I don't see them really as cockneys, but I get like the whole cockney thing. Um I do believe in having a soulmate that you're not like romantically involved with, because I have that too. Because I have my friend Judith, she's my soulmate. She says that to me all the time as well. We're soulmates, but we're not romantically involved. I do believe that can happen. So in that regards, that's fine. I just don't like Fitz.
Okay.
I don't like Fitz, and I don't like the things that he does to Sophie or has
Mm-hmm.
done in the past. And I
Yep.
think, I don't know, I could not be cockneyed with somebody like that. But Sophie is different. She's like a
Mm,
different person. So if it works for her, then it works for her. And that's absolutely fine.
yep.
So it didn't like bother me, but I don't know. I find it sometimes a little bit unrealistic, maybe. That's maybe the word I was looking for. Because,
Mm,
past of how, in the second book that his dad's mind got shattered and he blamed Sophie for it. Like, I would not forget that shit. Like, I
okay.
would I would not. That's just, he said awful things to her.
Yeah, I get that. Like Rebecca is saying that Fitz is very toxic.
I find that too. Glad he came back. I missed him too. But I also what was I gonna say? I think Fitz is just he's like, for me, Fitz is like the stereotype privileged white man.
Oh yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm
The
saying?
cocky
Like,
one.
he's, yeah, cocky, the golden boy, and I just don't like those people. I just like, and they don't like, you're a privileged white man, that's fine, but if you realize that you're privileged and you're being humble about it, that's good. But I don't think that he realizes how privileged he is, because he's like constantly sulking and being like, oh, I don't know, I just don't like him.
Hmm? No, I get your point is fair. He doesn't seem to realize it, and he takes everything as like a given. How do you say that?
Yeah, for
So
granted.
no, it can't. Yeah, granted. So yeah, no, it makes sense compared to Sophie, who has to fight for everything. Keith also, and
Yeah,
then like the twins that also had a very very difficult background with their parents and everything, so you feel like a lot of people are actually going
and
through real
Dex.
life. And
Yeah, and Dex has his parents that are a bad match and stuff like that. So, there are a lot of people that and Biana, she is like the golden girl, but I feel like she has gone through tremendous growth, I think,
yeah, I
because she
agree.
started out as this privileged white girl. But first of all, she's a girl, so that's different. We all know
Mm,
that. That's completely different. But she has actually gone through like really tremendous growth, because at the beginning she was this like really girly person, and she still cares about that. She's still a girly girl, and she still cares about, makeup and clothes and stuff, and that's fine. But underneath there's a goddamn warrior out there, and I like that.
yeah.
I like that a lot. And I love the fact that she still wears her scars like on display. And yeah, it's just, I feel like she has gone through like really tremendous growth, and Fitz, I don't think he has.
No, true. Or maybe he has to some extent, but he's still not um expressing it or has changed since it or whatever. So I get
Yeah,
it. And
yeah,
as yeah, sometimes people are fine as a friend and terrible as a partner. I agree
yeah.
with that. I agree with that. So yep.
So I feel like in the story itself, we obviously have like the big thing, main thing is going on. Keith left, but then we have this really big revelation, like right at the beginning of the story, that um, there seems to be like a third step to Stellarlune and what they are doing with Keith. And I
Yes.
found that like a really big revelation, and I was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is this? A third step? And
Yeah.
then it's called like Isilian. Isilian?
Yeah,
Isilian.
Ethelian. That's how I pronounce it. Now I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that either.
I did not listen to the audiobook, but yeah, Ethelian. Yeah.
It's
But
called like Isilian, and what was I gonna say? I found that a really like big thing, I felt like that was the main thing that they were focused on, and is finding Keith and finding out what this like third step was and what they were like gonna do with Keith.
yeah, but in the very beginning when they mentioned Ethelian or something or whatever, I was like so confused. I don't know why, because maybe I was tired when I read it or something. And I was like, is it a city or is it someone? Like, I was so freaking confused.
Yeah.
And but we know by this now we know how the books work. You know what I mean? You get like that many kinds of big revelations where throughout the book, etc. So I was not surprised that something was like revealed to us quite early on,
Yeah.
and that we kind of got an answer but more questions by the end
Yeah.
because of that. You know what I mean?
Because, you know, looking at the end, we find out that Asilian is a person, which I was not like, I was very confused by that. I
Yeah.
did
No,
not see that coming.
okay, so I was expecting something, but the way, as I said at the beginning, is it like a city or like a person or whatever? I had more in mind like someone who would use the title of Ethelian, being like, oh, I'm God, whatever, or I'm that spirit, I'm representing that person. That's how I pictured it actually, to someone representing Ethelian, whatever that means.
And that can still be the case because we don't know.
No, we don't know, but that's what I had in mind because
That could
I
still
don't know. It
very
kind of
much
made
be the
sense,
case.
but
Yeah, it still could very much be the case.
still very
Um,
much curious about it. Like, is that
yes.
person actually named Assyrian? Is that person representing something? And what is it? Because we have never seen. We have the black swan. We have so many things. At one point, there's gonna need to be an end to adding more things. You know what I mean? And it's so like there's so much is going on, but it feels so realistic because even in life, there is always more to a secret. Like there is always, if you look for it, there's always something behind it. So kind of makes sense, and it's fun to read about, honestly, and to try
It
to
is
puzzle that
fun
out.
to go from one revelation into another, and it's just, yeah, it's a whirlwind. Um, so I wrote down here that her friends, or more like her team and her friends, they were very angry at Sophie for causing the fire in the hideout. And I
Yeah,
thought that was like interesting as well because um I do get it. I we talked like last live show that it seemed to have like sparked a kind of different thing in Sophie, she's like more ruthless. She seems more ruthless. She seems more like taking action. But I think one of her biggest flaws is that she does like things on her own.
she doesn't listen. She doesn't ask for their
Yeah.
opinion enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you are within a group of people that you're supposed to trust, because they're part of that, what was the name of the group? I forgot that they
Be
created us.
vigilant.
Yes. See, so I feel like we all know that Sophie is special, but she keeps like acting as she's alone, and that she's um like carrying the entire weight of the world and
Yeah.
of everything. So I get that her friends are, I think that they are more tired of her not asking them for feedbacks more than the actual
Control fire. Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. I think so too. They were just like, and also she didn't like use, because she made sure that Neverseen knew who was behind the fire, but she didn't use the symbol of the group. She used her own moonlark symbol. So she was very much like, this was me, you know? And she didn't act like the group. And yeah, she has a lot to learn on that
Yes,
behalf.
but that's the thing. At the same time, I do understand that she put her symbol and not the others, because then she's the only one in danger if they want
Yeah,
revenge. So
true.
in her mind, it was like taking the responsibility of what she had done, but also lowering the risk of her friends being attacked, even though they could still use her friends as leverage, for instance, you
Yeah.
know? So, but I feel like here she was actually protecting them. But I feel like here she just needs to stop trying to protect people and understand that they're like stronger together.
Yeah, and everyone, everyone has agreed to being like in the Black Swan or being in Team Valengi. What's it called?
Vigilante.
Um. So everyone has. Nobody is being forced. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So everyone has agreed. They know the responsibilities that they have. They know the danger that they're involved. So she cannot like constantly protect them, and she
Mm,
communicate better. She needs to, yeah, because they are stronger together for sure. Like
yeah.
absolutely 100%. Yeah.
And I feel that's one of the flaw that a lot of like chosen one have or special one have. It is constantly carrying the entire weight of the world by themselves. Like they never, it takes them such a long time before actually really asking others for help, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Um so what I found really interesting is of course we got a big revelation of who Glimmer is,
Mm.
and her name is Rainy.
I pronounce it Rainy.
Yeah,
Rainy
Rainy.
Rafi? Rainy Rafi? Was it Rainy? What was her last name? Rainy Arya.
Uh
Arya. Rainy Arya.
Rainy Arya.
Yes.
So we got that revelation, and we got a little bit of background of Rainy. And what I found really, really, really interesting is the revelation that Rainy's parents had tricked the matchmakers, and then we found out that Stina's parents had too. I was like, motherfucker.
See, I told you that this world cannot, it couldn't be perfect. It couldn't
Yeah,
be perfect.
couldn't be
That thing did not make sense that everyone was always accepting everything without like rebelling or anything. But so
yeah.
I was not expecting it to happen. I was not expecting for that revelation, even though it made sense. I
Oh,
was not
yeah.
expecting it
It,
at
I was
all.
I was like, oh my gosh, like how many people would have done that? I think a lot. I think there are a lot of bad matches out there that are just being like, they're pretending to be on each other's lists and stuff like that.
But then
Um,
that proves that the system is wrong.
yeah, it does. Oh, but the whole matchmaking system is just, I'm sorry.
I
That's,
know, but how can you still let it happen if you know? I mean, maybe not everyone is telling everyone that they were not on their list or that they tricked it or that they paid someone or that they, but yeah, I don't know. That just, we knew from the very beginning that we disagree with that system. It doesn't make any sense. It kind of
Yeah.
makes sense, like if you, I don't know. You know, some people do that in real life when they are like from small villages or small islands or whatever, just to make sure. I mean, they don't do exactly that matchmaking list, but like DNA test to make sure they're not like related to a certain
Yeah.
level or whatever. So that makes sense. But to have a list of people you could consider as matchable, I'm just like, oh my gosh, in such a high society, intelligent, smart, advanced culture, it just seems so dystopian in some way.
Yeah,
Like,
it does. It does. And it makes me think of the program that they have like in multiple countries, like Married at First Sight. They have that in our country and like in Australia, I believe. I've never watched it, but I do know that most couples that are participating in that show end up being divorced at the end of it.
mm,
It just rarely ever works
yeah,
because they're like on paper they should be the perfect match on paper, but that is not how it works in real life.
no, it's not. It's absolutely not. But for some people, I'm sure it could work because, like,
Yeah,
arranged
there are
marriage.
exceptions. There are very much exceptions because we found out that Oralee and Kenrick were on each other's list at number one. We
Mm,
found that
mm,
um they were like on paper and within the practical work they were just
yeah,
like made for each other, which is kind of sad, man. Because you know Kenrick is dead, and it just makes me sad for Orly that she's never gonna be with the love of her life.
I
It's,
know. I know.
I also felt that the whole thing where they were like visiting these cache things and like the
Mm.
different memories and stuff, I found that that was very fillery for me.
I was, as I said, I was so confused. Like, I was reading, but I was like, okay, next.
Yeah,
I,
I was like, this is we could have done without that.
could
That
we
was
though? Will that have like a huge impact in the next book? Or, you know what I
well,
mean?
maybe. I don't know. I felt at the time I was reading it and I was like done with it. It felt very fillery for me. So it felt like very much, oh, I'm writing this to fill up the book, so I still reach like over 500 pages, something like that. So it felt like very much fillery for me. But you never know. Hey,
That's the thing, you never know with the author because I feel like everything has their importance.
yeah,
So I'm sure we're just missing a piece to make sense of it, to actually acknowledge its importance. Or maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're wrong. I don't know. Because it took the author more time to write this one, no? Than
it
the
did.
others.
Yeah, it did. It got pushed
So
back by a year. Yes, it did.
so maybe there is a reason, maybe there is none, maybe they struggle
I
writing this one.
I think they're because you have like such an immense series, like it's so long, it's gonna be harder and harder because I feel like you're working towards what I presume to be an ending at some point. It's gotta end somewhere.
Yeah,
And you wanna tie everything up,
true.
in a good way that there are not like any loose ends and something. So I do believe, and with everything that has happened and everything that has been going on, I feel like that is a job to make
Yes.
like puzzle pieces fit. That is a job.
Yeah. And she did have a baby as
Oh,
well.
she had a baby. Well,
Yes.
yeah, that should also take some time. Yes. Hello, Lily. You want to come here
Yeah.
and say hi? Here. Hi. Oh, you're being very cute. You can't see it, but she's being very cute. Oh, there she goes. Hi. Yes. We're talking about the book. What did you give the book? Did you sniff it? Yes? What did you give it? 5 stars.
5 stars as well.
Yeah. She gave it 5 stars. Yes.
Pretty impressive.
So good, good sniff of the book.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, it's like it's a stupid detail, but you know how we said like a few times that every detail counted, but now we're not sure about it, whatever. You know, I just tripped, or I did not. I just focused so much on the color that Ro picked for Iggy. Like, what was the color again? Like Twilight Twilight ombre.
Yes.
And I was like, why? I don't know
Oh,
why. I just focused on that color. I was like, is it gonna be like the cover of the next book? Is it gonna be? I just, I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I was tired, but I just focused on it so much. I was like, why Twilight ombre? You know, Twilight
yeah.
ombre. The
It's very specific.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I like what you're thinking.
my brain is a weird place and scary place to visit. If, but
Tell me
yeah,
about it. My brain is absolutely fucked at the moment as well. So,
so yeah. But I found
um,
like the Twilight ombre oddly specific.
so oh yeah, we had this Glimmer set up like a meeting with Trix for like more info.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was kind of like a little bit of a trap because Vespera was there again.
Vespera, yeah.
We hadn't seen her for. I was wondering where she was.
I forgot about it.
No, I
Sorry.
did wonder about her. I was like, we haven't seen you in a while, and there she was, like out of nowhere. She came to have a visit.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why I said that every detail, every character counts because they're there for a reason.
yeah, and what was I? Oh yeah, so meeting with Vespera, that ultimately led to them finding Keith in London.
Yes.
Um, and I was so happy that Keith was back. It took a long time though. I
He
was expecting him to come back earlier.
Yeah, but he kind of came when we needed something a bit lighter, but also more on the feeling side of it, you know what I mean? Because we got like a bunch of information with like all the cash and whatever. So as you said, it felt like filled in or fillery or whatever. And then I feel like we needed some kind of connection again to the story. Like
That makes sense. That makes sense. And obviously Keith came back home and then Sophie realized that she was like actually in love with him and they
yeah,
kissed.
yeah,
And then she immediately told Fitz as well, which I thought that was very good of her. If she
yes.
wants to be cognates with him,
But
then
he
she's
asked the question.
hmm?
He asked the question, didn't he?
Oh, he did, didn't he?
He said, "How was Keith?" or "Where are things with Keith?" or "How is it
Yeah.
going on with Keith?" or
She
whatever.
was
He asked.
honest. She
Yeah,
was honest.
absolutely. High
Which
respect for that.
yeah, which I think is like a good thing if they wanna like continue to be cognates. And then I found that was like for me like a good beautiful moment between Sophie and Fitz because the moment she told him about Keith, their test score went up berserk. Like the
Yeah,
test cognates because at the beginning of the book it was so incredibly low.
yeah,
They worked and worked and worked towards it and they got better. But when Sophie was honest about her feelings for Keith, even though he didn't like it, you know,
yeah.
their test score went up like skyrocket high, which was I thought that was a good moment between them.
Yeah, I liked it for two reasons. First, it shows that it takes time to build trust in
Yeah.
someone, and that is life. You just, unless you have like a huge connection with someone, soulmate, crush, whatever, and that you immediately know you can trust that person 100%, but it doesn't happen to everyone. But I feel like you need to work on trust. But also, I did not feel like uh Sophie was finally honest about her feelings, whatever. I think she finally realized it. She always had something in her mind. She didn't know, she knew, she didn't know, she knew, she wondered, blah blah blah. But then when she realized that she could be honest with herself first, which is the first step, and then it was Fitz. And that's why the score went like above and beyond,
Yeah.
because she was honest at so many different levels, not just with Fitz, but with herself as well.
I like that. Yeah, I do like that. Um, so we found a little bit more about like Isilian, and I wrote down, is Isilian like they made it sound like it was some sort of power source, and it should be like
Exactly.
used at like a certain time. Um, and then at the ending, we found out that Isilian is a person.
Or illusion,
I was
still
like,
an
oh,
illusion, yeah.
I like your theory. I like your theory of it being like some sort of, goddess or power or ability or something special that that person is supposed to be having. So, what are your like predictions for the next book?
I want to know more about that Elysium, Elysium, Elysium. Every time I want to say Elysium, the Greek thingy. I'm not even sure it makes sense, but I want to know about that because I feel like that could actually be the way the story is going to wrap up. Because maybe there is even a world beyond theirs.
Oh,
You know what I
damn.
mean? A little bit like in Lord of the Rings. When
Yeah.
they take. So I would like to know that. That's my.
I I am like very curious if the 10th book will be the last book, because it's not, it was supposed to be, but I don't think it's quite sure at this point
No.
if the next book is gonna be the last book. If it is gonna be the last book, well, we're obviously gonna find out about Asilium because we saw this person, and I'm hoping she's gonna tell us like what the fuck is going on. What the hell is
Yeah, I really want to know if that person is an actual person, if that person is a representation of something,
Yeah.
if that person is a key to something, if that person is the power of. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and why do they want to use it on Keith? Because this whole Stellarlune thing is still happening, like the stages.
Yeah.
And we had like multiple stages now with Keith, and his ability has been affected. So what is the Asilium thing going to happen to Keith or not? Are they gonna prevent it? Are they gonna find out what it will do to Keith? Um, are they not gonna find out? Is it gonna happen to Keith and then we find out? I like, there's so many questions.
Yeah,
There's
like
so
so
many
if
questions.
they need to use illusion's power, how will that work? Will she have to
Oh my
sacrifice?
god! Oh,
If that's
yo!
the ending,
Oh
I
my
don't
god,
know.
I will be in tears.
If she sacrifices herself and
Oh,
there is some kind of illusion path after, or like that's like Lord of the Ring. Sorry.
yes. But it does make sense in a
It
way that,
does.
well, maybe not even Sophie has to sacrifice herself, but somebody, and it just make a lot of sense for like somebody to die, because we haven't seen many people die throughout the series.
You're gonna say that you want Fitz to die?
Yeah, I want Fitz to die. Of course I want Fitz to die. But, to have it like really impactful, because for me, like Fitz would not be impactful. But, maybe Dex can die or something. Oh man, I would be really sad.
Yeah, I don't want. Dex to
I don't
die.
want Nick to die.
I
I
don't.
don't want any of them to die. Or maybe one of her adoptive parents. They were like trying to save Sophie or something, like Grady or Adela. Oh my gosh, that would be
Oh
hard.
no, oh no, that would be too sad though.
Oh, that
Because
would
she lost her adoptive parent. She doesn't really have parents, and now she's gonna lose one of her adoptive parents.
no, that would be really, really sad, wouldn't it? Well, maybe Keith will sacrifice himself for Sophie.
But then Sophie again loses something. A match. in in some
I
way, like
am like curious if we're gonna find out like the true extent of Sophie and what she's made out of, and if we find out like a biological father in some way, we know her biological morals orally, and if she is ever getting like a list, and if Keith is on that list. I want to know. I just want to know.
I think they're gonna make it happen. I think that the list is gonna stop being that archaic. People who still want to use it could still use it or whatever, but I don't think it
It will
will
be,
be like
yeah, a mandatory
everyone.
thing or something. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the revelations, and I don't know what they will do with those informations, if they will use it in their favor or not. But I think that they will change things because those kids, I'm sorry, but they've given everything to that world like for years now.
Yeah.
They gave everything.
You know what I would also like is like a flashback to like 10 years ahead, 10 or 15 years ahead, and to see them as full grown ups. Maybe some of them will get together, maybe they will have kids, maybe some of them will be on the council,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
And like changes for the better, with like the matchmaking system and being talentless listed, not like looked upon, and that
Yeah.
like you're not no longer in exile, that doesn't exist anymore, and stuff like that. That is just like better for everyone.
Yeah. But that would mean that the next book would be the last one, which we're still not sure. But
Yeah,
you think the name's gonna be Moonlight. Oh, the last one's gonna be
yeah.
Moonlight.
I am like almost 100% sure that the last book in the series is gonna be called Moonlark,
Kind of
because
makes sense.
it wraps it up, and it's like one word title, because she's done one word titles all throughout. She's not gonna change that. The last book has to be Moonlark. Come on, that's gonna be the title of the last book. But I do like some part of me wants the next book to be the last one, because I feel like it must come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
But also I'm having so much fun, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think it should stop soon.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if the last one is a big one, then it can be over 700 pages. I don't mind it, but don't make it two of like one 500 and one then way shorter or like
Yeah, that I
500
wouldn't
pages
like
as
that as
well.
well. Yeah. I wouldn't like that as well. I think yeah, I think you're right. But if it comes to that, we will bring Keeper Along back for just like a month. I'm
Yes.
not gonna do Keeper Along all over again.
No? You're
No.
sure?
Well, if it takes 5 years for the final book to come out, then we can do that, okay? But if the book comes out this year or next year, we will like bring it back for a month to just discuss like the newest book.
Yeah,
We will absolutely do
absolutely.
that. So yeah, I think we covered everything, and I'm getting out of breath as well. So
No worries. We talked about like for 45 minutes.
yeah.
So I think we mentioned everything. I don't know if anyone has more point of views. Oh, about Vespera. Can't believe Vespera got exploded. I thought she was going to be the bad guy till the end. And Rebecca
Oh
thought,
yes.
yeah,
Well, I don't know if I haven't seen like a body, so I'm just not sure what.
that's the
You
thing.
you never fucking know. You never
But at
know.
the same
She's
time,
also a
exploded and a
mystery.
body.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I
am
know what
like
you mean.
very suspicious of everything that happens in these books. Okay.
Yeah, I get that. Mm,
I hope this next book does wrap it up. Yeah, me too. I would. I think 10 books. It's like a good round number. Well, technically there are 11 books, but it will be called the 10th book. Name it Moonlark, and then like a big finale. Give us the biggest book yaks, like over 1,000 pages. Yes, just do it. Give it to me.
yeah,
That
I
would
would
be
love that.
epic. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I
And
would
then
love.
a family tree for Sophie at the
Yes,
end.
yes, yeah. I would love that as well. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. That was the end of Keeperalong. Thank you all so much for joining us in this year-long adventure.
Thank
Sasha, thank
you.
you for sticking with me throughout this whole crazy.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Um, you're very welcome. I had fun too. I'm very glad that I did it. And we will no doubtly see you back in the future for the next book.
Yeah.
But until then, we are gonna go. Bye.
Take care.